anger from the restaurant industry this evening after capacity limits were lifted at major sporting events. But restaurants like this one behind me must remain at 50% capacity or less. For many, it makes no sense.
There isn't a scientific rationale for that. It's the opposite of what you should be doing. I think with a vaccination certificate regime and a restaurant that's compliant, I think we should be looking at 100% capacity, especially for really small venues.
Late Friday afternoon, just as the long weekend was beginning, the Ford government put out this news release announcing they were lifting all capacity limits at concert venues, theaters and cinemas, as well as at sports facilities where fans can now fill every seat cheering on their teams.
The idea that it's okay for tens of thousands of people to pack into a stadium, however, not masked because there's no enforceability there, with bottlenecks and lineups at the concession stands and at bathrooms and going in and out and public transit. No, this is a bad idea.
According to James Rylett from Restaurants Canada, Minister Lisa MacLeod arranged a call with the restaurant industry this morning, but she wasn't on it.
There was no ministers or no real representation of cabinet there, and they simply said, we're working on a plan. We're 19 months into this. It's way past the time for plans. If there was a plan, why were sports teams ahead of us in that plan? It makes no sense. We're frustrated, we're angry, and we need an explanation right away.
COVID has been devastating for the restaurant industry, which has low profit margins at the best of times. According to a survey released by Restaurants Canada today, 80% of restaurants are either losing money or barely making ends meet. It estimates between 10 to 15% have shut down in this province.
Between 38 and 4,500 restaurants have closed since the pandemic started in Ontario.
NDP leader Andrea Horwath called on the Doug Ford government to tell the industry why it is still under capacity limits.
Where's the explanation?
At a long-term care announcement today, Minister Rod Phillips would only say the government is taking a cautious approach.
We are taking those cautious steps, but we absolutely are listening to our local restaurants, to our local businesses. We want to maintain the progress we've made, and that's why we'll continue to listen to the Chief Medical Officer.
A spokesperson for Lisa MacLeod, the minister who oversees the hospitality industry, tells me she was not on the call with the restaurant industry this morning because she was working on an event, but adds senior leadership was there. Still, pressure is mounting for an explanation. The Ontario Chamber of Commerce is calling on the Ford government to be transparent and release the data to support its decision.